These folks thought homesteading was easy. Look at this.
I want to introduce you to my nemesis. And no, it's not the weather or some crazy rodent or a snake or an insect or anything like that that people normally think of when they think of homesteading and gardening. It's not what you think. And no, it's not the baby either. It's this! 8 years ago, when we started our homestead journey, all of the real popular content creators were all about this, the premier one, poultry netting. We didn't have very much money. We were a really young family just starting out, but we really felt like this was going to be our best investment. We were going to get chickens out. We were going to move them every day. We were going to do what we saw other people do. So we invested in several lengths, I guess you'd call them, links, sections of poultry netting, and it has been 8 years of regretting this purchase. But because we spent all that money, we do our best to still use it because fencing is very expensive. But I just did what should have taken 10 minutes of laying down the fencing so that I can move it, only for it to get snagged on itself somewhere in the middle. And then it's like undoing a twist tie on the bread. It doesn't matter which way I went, it was the wrong way, and it got progressively worse. And 40 minutes later, I finally have the netting all stretched out. It goes that way so that I can roll it up, because this one's actually going back into storage. I don't need it right now. But my goodness, I cannot recommend enough how much I do not like this stuff. Permanent fence, electric wire fence, like turbo wire, 10 out of 10, love those. This poultry netting is just chaos. The birds get stuck in it, animals come right through it. If you're on any sort of hilly surface, it does not keep its charge. If the grass touches it, if you don't mow constantly, it doesn't keep its charge. Don't like it. Oh my gosh, I'm just so mad at it right now. But I'm gonna finish because I started this. I'm gonna get it put away.
Homesteading with kids. Her hands is full. She gotta feed chickens, goats, babies, herself, husband, dogs, chickens, ducks, snakes, cats, rats, cat in the hat, and a booty in the back. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. But she gotta feed them a lot of stuff. She got her hands full, man. Homesteading is not for the week, bruh. It's not for the 7 days. It's not for the 14 days, which I mean, homesteading is not for the week. Homesteading is not for the 2 week. You like how I did that? Okay, but guess what? Chickens have a beak. Ducks have a beak. I'm trying to rhyme, but it ain't going good. But guess what, man? It ain't all cut out to be. Let me show you this next clip, man. This next clip, oh my God, bro, look at this.
Devastating day on the farm. So here's one of the sad realities of farming is that there's loss and there's accidents, especially when you're a brand new farmer learning shit. So Chase and I left really early this morning at like 5 to go take a bunch of our drakes and our roosters to get processed. And we should have done our farm chores that fucking early. Normally we don't get out there until like 8 in the morning. I thought it would be fine. Well, we got back around like 11. Took a lot longer than anticipated. And we opened up the duck brooder and there were 13 dead. So the wall that was so great when they were little, they outgrew overnight essentially. And as the sun came up and it started to get hot, because it's been like 20 degrees at night, we've kept all their lamps on and kept the tarp over to keep it warm, but it needs to be opened up in the morning for the airflow and to cool it down quicker because it gets so hot so quick. And it got too hot. They were trying to get out and get air, and a bunch of them got stuck. They're big enough now to hop over, and a bunch of them got stuck in here between there and the door. So I opened it up and out fell a bunch of dead babies. So it's a devastating lesson learned. It's, completely our fault. It's not something we had considered, which maybe that makes us idiots. Maybe that makes us bad beginner farmers. It's really sad. That's 13 babies that we were in charge of their life, and they ended not in the way that they were raised for, not for anyone's benefit. We can't do anything with them now. So that really fucking sucks. But we learned from it. Now we know taller wall, that timing of farm chores is fucking everything, So it happens. This is just one of the realities of it, right? Everyone always shows the fun, the glamour, the cutesiness, right? You see all the rich homesteaders where this is just a fucking hobby. They only show like the beauty of it, right? Here's the nitty gritty. Here's the reality. And I cried so hard. So That's where we're at.
Good girl, you did. You can't come out this way. Oh no, 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 no. That's it. My sweetheart. Forgot I still have to feed the dog.
See, them regrets starting to stack up. This one lady's hers is not that bad, but let's hear her story.
One of my biggest regrets in building this homestead from the ground up is definitely the layout. The me that decided that terraces and hoop houses in between them with a fruit tree orchard was a good idea is not the same me that is now stuck hauling mulch in one shovel at a time because I can't drive up here. So definitely take the time and think about your layout. Even though we don't have any heavy equipment, like we have a side-by-side, it would be a lot better to be able to drive that side-by-side up here and dump some mulch in than hauling it in a wheelbarrow or one shovel at a time. That really sucks, and it's taking a ton of time and a ton of effort, and it's just not necessary. So while I get back to mulching all of this in, think about your layout.
Hey y'all, excuse how I look. I just got out of the shower and I was sitting out here letting my hair air dry naturally. Anyway, I wanted to do another episode of Confessions of a Homesteader. My husband was teasing me and said that I needed to do this one. So, this one's a bad one, y'all. This one's probably going to get me some flack. So, anyway, he said, you need to be honest with your followers. So, here we go. When I say that I love canning, I love canning. I love cutting the stuff up. I love pureeing the stuff, cooking the stuff, sterilizing the jars, putting the stuff in the jars, putting the stuff in the stuff, and doing the stuff. But, y'all, I'm terrified of my pressure canner. I am. I don't do the pressure canning. He does. So I get everything all ready. I do all of the leading up to, and then he does the canning. He puts it in the canner and works the canner and watches the canner and does all that because I am low-key terrified of the canner. So anyway, that's not something a homesteader should be proud of, but I can't help it. I don't know why, but it's been that way since we got married. I will get all the stuff. Well, back when he was working, I would get all the stuff all ready for him, and then when he came home from work, he would can it up for me or do the pressure part of it because I just don't do it. Okay, that's all. Love y'all. Bye.
Yeah, she didn't give it to you raw. Now this next clip, she gonna break down the reasons why people quit. Let's get into it.
I think social media is why a lot of homesteaders quit. Everything looks aesthetic now. Perfect sourdough, perfect garden, the perfect little linen sundress. I mean, do you see what I look like right now? It's not pretty. There's always that perfect little farmhouse with soft music playing in the background, but they don't show you what their back deck looks like. Someone collecting one egg in a spotless apron. They're not chickens, they're tiny vicious T-Rex monsters. She's got that look in her eye today. Meanwhile, in real life, your sheep is wearing a diaper. Your dog peed on your kid's foot. You're chasing a loose animal in flip-flops. The handle fell off the wagon milk machine. You're standing outside at -10 degrees, wondering why you thought it was a good idea to buy a milk cow, have no schedule of your own, and spend all your money on her. And honestly, I think this picture perfect homestead content is why a lot of people burn out, because real homesteading is repetitive, it's systems, it's messy, it's doing chores when you're tired, it's heartbreak sometimes, it's losing animals, sometimes even when you did everything right. Now there are even AI homesteading pages with fake gardens, fake stories, fake people, fake animals. It's probably somebody sitting in their basement just making these videos out of thin air. Someone who's never touched a garden, raised an animal, people comparing their real life to something that literally doesn't even exist. And that's dangerous, because then real homesteaders start feeling like they're failing when actually they're just living real life. Some days this lifestyle feels peaceful, but other days it feels like survival mixed with comedy. But I'd still take this over depending on the grocery store for every little thing, and forgetting how to actually do anything for ourselves. I don't want my kids growing up thinking that food magically appears on shelves. I want them to know how to build things, grow food, raise animals, and solve problems, live in the real world and not just online. Keep following along for more real, messy homestead videos.
Give them the real. Yeah, if you own the grid like myself and other Americans, food does appear on shelves. I know it don't. I'm just talking. It doesn't appear on shelves. Somebody is working, somebody is homesteading, and that's fine. They are having profitable businesses. They are probably doing it, and they love to do it. For most of y'all people, man, y'all get on social media and y'all see it, and y'all like, oh, glitz and glamoury. Off the grid, no bills. Oh my God, I'm about to buy this. I'm about to buy a barn, and I'm about to buy a farm, and I'm about to knit and get some yarn. And you is not doing that. And you just having a worse time of your life, and you depressed. You're depressed and you're stressed and you're tired and you're trying to get a job, but you won't get hired. Matter of fact, you actually got fired. Okay, because matter of fact, some of y'all retired, but look, y'all homesteaders, look, it's crazy. Look at this next clip. They're going to tell you something. Look at this next clip.
In today's episode of I'm regretting all of my life decisions I've made in the past 3 years, because how the F did I end up with 4 dogs, 4 cats, 50 chickens, and 10 peacocks? Today, when I left to go eat dinner, all 4 of my male peacocks were dispersed throughout the neighborhood. The first 2 were at the house across the street from me, and they come running out of the yard and they're circling each other in the middle of the street. And I'm like, what is happening? And for the first time in my life ever, okay, hang on, we gotta put this dog up. For the first time in my life ever, I had to break up 2 peacocks fighting. Do you know how big those freaking disco raptors are and how terrifying it is to try to jump in the middle of 2 peacocks fighting, because they're flying 5 feet into the air while lunging at each other with talons bigger than my hands. And the people whose house that they were fighting in front of were still sitting in their truck because they were too afraid to get out of their car until they saw me start chasing the peacocks around. So they figured it was safe. So then they came out to videotape this. Also, 3 other neighbors from down the road saw this while they were at the end of the street on their golf cart. So they came riding up and videotaped it. I'm pretty sure that'll be on TikTok later. Then, as I'm leaving, my freaking other peacock is further down the road in somebody else's yard, and he was dancing for the ladies, and then he jumped up into the rafters of this guy's front porch. He has a tall front porch that's at least 10 feet tall, and the peacock jumps on the rafters and is just sitting there chilling. I don't know what this guy thinks about the peacock being in his yard, but it's been in his yard for a week and he just stares at it. Every time I drive by, the peacock's in the yard dancing for him and his dog and his chickens. And then the other peacock is in the other neighbor's pasture, who filmed me on the golf cart trying to break up the other peacocks fighting. There's footage. I'll put this all at the end that I have, but it's sitting on his fence while I'm leaving the house. Anyway, I finally go to dinner and get home, and I just realized I'm laying in my bed. One of my peacocks has roosted by my window tonight. Watch this. Bird! Hey, bird! You heard that right. Like, that's right by my freaking window. I'm gonna hear that all night tonight. This is bullshit. Don't get peacocks.
She's struggling. I feel for your sister. It ain't easy. People think it's easy. That's the social media got y'all thinking that it's easy. This next lady, she gonna tell you the real too. She gonna give it to you authentically. She's standing up with a mic and she gonna let you know what's right. Let's get into it.
We thought that homesteading would make our lives healthier, but instead it completely wrecked us. After buying our land and building our home, we started a massive garden. We got a milk cow. We got 125 chickens so that we could sell eggs. We sold produce at farmers market. We did all the things, trying desperately to make so that our homestead could generate enough income to support our growing family. We truly believe that if we just gritted our teeth and worked hard enough that our dreams would come true, but instead I ended up sick on the couch from just the extreme stress and exhaustion of all the hard work. That season changed everything for us. We realized that our homestead should be supporting our family, not stealing our joy. So we started simplifying. We sold our 125 chickens. We quit doing farmers market. We only planted things in our garden that truly made a dent in our self-sufficiency goals. And the cool thing is, we rediscovered the joy of living off the land. We made all the mistakes so that you guys don't have to, and that's the real story.
Yeah. That ain't it. Also, you gotta add buying animals like goats. Goats, they sound fun. Yeah, that's a sheep. My bad. What? No, I don't know what noise goats make, but goats, they make noises too. I don't know what noises they make, but she gonna tell you why it ain't no good noise that you want to hear. Whatever noise they do make, you can tell I don't own no homestead. You can tell I'm on the grid. I'm on the grid all the way. Yeah, I'm inside the grid. I'm stuck in the grid. The grid has me stuck. I am in the matrix, my brother. I ain't in the matrix, but I'm in the grid. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I know you can drink goat's milk, but enough of what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about nothing. She gonna tell you everything you need to know. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna tell you, one of my biggest regrets in life is getting goats. I have two burr goats, however you say it. One was raised from a bottle baby. The other got is a very sickly kid. And I love them to pieces. They're both like dogs, but they're also the most irritating dogs you've ever met in your entire life. I will never, ever own goats again after these two pass away. I have a little pygmy goat, Thomas. He's not bad. He stays put. We have him in a maximum security enclosure. He doesn't try to get out. But these two, we've got almost 6 acres. There is vegetation. They have a round bale of hay, so they get free choice hay. They also get grain every evening. And those two motherfuckers get out all the time. I just spent 10 minutes chasing one around the neighbor's yard as he's chewing up their grass. And I don't understand. And we cannot figure out where they're getting out at. We just ran electric along the top. And I got to check it to see if it's hitting. So that's always fun. It scares the shit out of me. But, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. And it's so stupid. They're doing it to be irritated because that's how goats are. If you're thinking about getting goats, get sheep. My sheep don't mess with nothing. Hey, chicken. They don't try to get out. They eat what they're supposed to eat. They're polite with the horses. They're not a problem. These daggum goats are a nightmare. So I'm about to have to walk 6 acres of fence, try to figure out where they're getting out at, check the electric fence, because one of 3 things is going to happen. Either A, they're going to get stolen because my neighbors don't mind stealing livestock and they'll hide them. 2, they're going to get eaten by something. Or 3, people drive down my road like it's Mad Max. It's a dirt road, but they fly 60, 70 miles an hour. I mean, it's scary how much traffic and how fast people go. So they're either going to get hit by a car, eaten by a predator, or stolen and possibly eaten by a neighbor. I don't know. But don't get goats. Just don't. Unless you're going to eat them. I mean, better eat those suckers before you get attached to them, because I'm going to tell you, I've had it up to here with my goats.
Poor baby, she just sweating. She done had it up to here. I feel you, my sister. Them goats is running you crazy. But guess what? You the real goat, also known as the greatest of all time. If for those who don't know, you're the real goat for having goats even doing this life. I will definitely commend you because it's not easy. It's not easy. Look at this next one. Husband and wife. Let's see how they doing this, man.
Recently, me and my husband, we started our homesteading journey, and it has been a lot of work, from gardening to chicken coops and you name it. It's just been a lot of work.
Yeah, ain't so easy, is it? You thought it was gonna be good. You thought you was gonna get a farm, raise your farm, get your chickens, get your milk, get your cows all day. You thought you wasn't gonna get pooped on, thought it wasn't gonna be hot outside, thought it was gonna be a good, beautiful, sweet life. Yeah, off the grid, homesteading, same thing. And if you want a more in-depth video about how off the grid and homesteading went bad and they could be a nightmare, make sure y'all click this video right here. I'm gonna see y'all there.